I welcome back you all students to this class of mathematics, and we are dealing with class 12th mathematics of NCERT CBSE syllabus. Right now we are doing chapter 12 linear programming, and I have already explained you that how to solve a linear programming problem involving unbounded feasible region. Today we are going to do word problems. That means you will be given the real practical situations and you have to form a linear programming problem out of that. So, let us do the questions, first question of exercise 12.2. Now, let us go through the first problem of exercise 12.2. So, let us read this problem. The problem says that Reshma wishes to mix two types of foods, food P and food Q, in such a way that vitamin contents of the mixture. So, she is making a mixture and she is mixing two types of foods, food P and food Q. So, constituent foods are P and Q, and her aim is to make a mixture, but there are certain restrictions or constraints. The mixture should contain at least 8 units of vitamin A and at least 11 units of vitamin B. So, the mixture that she will make after mixing P and Q, that should have minimum 8 units of vitamin A and minimum 11 units of vitamin B. Moreover, it is also given that the cost price of food P is rupees 60 per kg, cost price of food Q is rupees 80 per kg. Okay. And something else is also given to you. It is given to you that food P that she will mix in the mixture, that contains 3 units per kg of vitamin A. That means if she is taking 1 kg of food P, then it is having 3 units of vitamin A and 5 units of vitamin B. Also, it is given that food Q contains 4 units per kg of vitamin A and 2 units per kg of vitamin B. That means, if she takes 1 kg of food Q, it will contain 4 units of vitamin A and 2 units of vitamin B. So, you have to find that in what manner should she mix food P and Q. In what manner means how much quantity of food P and how much quantity of food Q should be mixed together so that she get the desired results. That is, the mixture should contain 8 units of vitamin A, 11 units of vitamin B, and the cost should come out to be minimum. So, she has to achieve all these things. And how can she achieve? She can achieve these things by mixing the available foods, food P and food Q, in a particular quantity. So, let us see how to solve this problem. So, let us analyze the situation. The situation is that she is mixing food P and food Q, and she is adding them and she is making a mixture. And my question, the biggest question is that in how much quantity should I mix food P and food Q? So, whatever is unknown, it is a very old mathematics rule that whatever is unknown, whichever quantity is unknown, we assume that to be x. So, let us assume that we are mixing x kilograms of food P and we are mixing y kilograms of food Q, and our aim is to find the values of x and y in such a way so that all the restrictions or constraints are fulfilled. And let us analyze further. Food P contains vitamin A and B. How much? 3 units. In every kg of food P, there is 3 units of vitamin A. In every kg of food P, there are 5 units of vitamin B. Similarly, for food Q, again it also contains vitamin A and vitamin B. So, according to question, in every kilogram of food Q, there are 4 units of vitamin A and there are 2 units of vitamin B. So, this is all about the vitamin content in both the foods P and Q which are to be mixed. And one more thing, it is also given to you that cost price of food P is given to be rupees 60 per kg, and cost price of food Q is given to be rupees 80 per kg. So now how to formulate this, how to make a linear programming problem out of this. Now students, if you try to solve out this problem without using the LPP method, I think it is going to be very difficult, because then you will take different amounts of P and Q, you keep mixing them, keep finding their cost prices, and it will take a very long time. So let us use our linear programming problem method. Now students, I have prepared the following table. As you can see, we shall form the table in every question in such a manner that the main contents that we are mixing will be kept here, will be written here in the horizontal line, and its constituents, what all it contains, whatever is the common food common between these two, is written on this, in this vertical line. These are two main items that we are going to mix. So we have written here horizontally, and these are common: vitamin A, vitamin B, and cost. These are three common quantities with both food P and food Q. So we write them here in a vertical line, and we have also assumed that we are mixing X kilograms of food P and Y kilograms of food Q, and here we have kept a column for restrictions. So now let us read the question again. So this means here I am going to write how much vitamin A and how much vitamin B food P is containing. So according to the question, food P is containing 3 units of vitamin A per kg. So this is, I can write here 3 units per kg, and food P is also containing 5 units per kg of vitamin B. So in vitamin B column I write 5 units per kg. So this is the vitamin A and vitamin B content for food P. Similarly, I will write here vitamin A and vitamin B content for food Q, and I look here that it has got 4 units of vitamin A and 2 units of per kg of vitamin B. So 4 units per kg and 2 units per kg. So now let us also see what is the cost price of food P. So cost price of food P is rupees 60 per kg. I write it here, and I also know that the cost price of food Q is rupees 80 per kg. Okay, now I have left a column here for restrictions. So please remember in your question what was the restriction. Let us see it again. The question says that Reshma wants to mix the two foods P and Q in such a manner that the total vitamin content of the mixture should contain at least 8 units of vitamin A and at least 11 units of vitamin B. This means that total vitamin A content, now you can see this column, this shows the total vitamin A content of the mixture, because mixture will contain vitamin A of food P also and vitamin A of food Q also. So total vitamin A has to be at least means minimum means greater than or equal to 8 units. At least means whenever we have at least, we are going to use greater than or equal to sign, because at least means it should have at least more than, greater than or equal to 8. This vitamin content should be minimum 8, means it should be greater than or equal to 8. And similarly, the mixture, the food mixture will contain at least 11 units of vitamin B. So this shows, this plus this shows total vitamin B in the mixture, this plus this shows total vitamin A in the mixture. Okay, so these are our two constraints, and this is giving us the cost price. Now I think with the help of this table we can formulate the linear programming problem. So to form the linear programming problem, the first thing you have to write is the objective function. As I explained you students earlier also, objective function is that quantity, objective function is formed by that quantity that you have to maximize or minimize. So in the question it is given to you that the cost should be minimum, and as a common sense also we know that cost in every business is always, or in every business or in every household, the cost price is always to be minimized and the profit is always to be maximized. So let me see that how much cost I will be paying for making this mixture which is containing x kilograms of food P. And since I am making the cost function, so cost function is going to be the objective function, and we always denote the objective function by the capital letter Z. Okay. Now I have already assumed that I have got x kilograms of food P, and here I have been given that cost of 1 kilogram per kg means 1 kilogram. Cost of 1 kilogram of food P is 60 rupees. Then cost of x kilograms of food P will be 60x, rupees 60x. I think it is very clear. If cost of 1 kilogram of food P is rupees 60, but since we are taking x kilograms of food P, and therefore total cost of food P that we are going to mix is going to be 60x. But cost function will not be complete unless we add the cost of food Q. Cost of 1 kilogram of food Q is 80 rupees, but we are mixing y kilograms of food Q. So cost of 1 kilogram is 80 rupees. So cost of y kilograms will be how much? 80y rupees. So this is the cost of food P, this is the cost of food Q, and this total is the cost of the mixture that we are going to form. So we have formed the cost function or the objective function. So what is the objective function? 60x plus 80y. And what is our aim? Our aim is to minimize this objective function. Now every objective function is to be minimized or maximized with respect to certain constraints. So constraints means what all restrictions we had. We had two restrictions over here, that total vitamin content in the mixture should be minimum 8 or should be greater than or equal to 8 units. So let us try to now calculate the vitamin A content in the whole mixture. So the mixture contains food P as well as food Q. Therefore total vitamin content of the mixture means the vitamin content it gets from total vitamin A content of the mixture means that the vitamin A that it gets from food P and vitamin A that it gets from food Q. So please tell me how much vitamin A the food is getting from, the mixture is getting from food P. Since we have x kilograms of food P, so 1 kilogram of food P contains 3 units of vitamin A. So x kilograms of food P will have 3x units of vitamin A. Similarly, y kilograms of food Q will have 4y kilograms of vitamin A. So we can write that total vitamin A in the mixture will be 3x plus 4y units. 3x units from food P and 4y units from food Q. This is total vitamin A content in the mixture. But according to the question, total vitamin A content has to be greater than or equal to 8. Similarly, let us try to find a restriction on vitamin B content. So, food P will contain x kilograms of food P will contain 5x. So, now the total vitamin B content in the mixture is 5x from food P and 2y from food Q. But this vitamin B content has to be at least 11 units. So, this has to be greater than or equal to 11. So, let us write our LPP. The LPP becomes minimize the objective function 60x plus 80y, which is the cost function, subject to the constraints 3x plus 4y greater than or equal to 8. This you got from vitamin A restriction. 5x plus 2y greater than or equal to 11. This you got from vitamin B restrictions. And x greater than or equal to 0, y greater than or equal to 0. These are two natural constraints, because x and y are the quantities of food P and food Q, and we know that quantities of food P and food Q cannot be negative. So, these are two natural constraints. So, we have to solve this LPP graphically, and to solve this LPP graphically, I have to plot the two equations 3x plus 4y equal to 8 and 5x plus 2y equal to 11 on the Cartesian plane. So, let us make their tables. To graphically plot this equation 3x plus 4y equal to 8, I made a table, and I gave the values 2 and 4 to x. So, if I put x to be 2, y will be 1 by 2, and if I put x to be 4, y will be minus 1. Similarly, I give the values to x and I gave the corresponding values of y. So, now let me plot these values on the graph sheet. Now, you can see the first point 2 1 by 2. So, I took 2 on x axis and 1 by 2 on y axis. Let me tell you the scale also first. So, we have taken the scale 1 unit is equal to 1. So, this is the point 2 1 by 2, and then I plotted the point 4 minus 1. So, x axis 4 1 2 3 4 and minus 1, so downwards, and I got the point 4 minus 1. So, I joined this point and this point and I extended, and I got the equation of the line 3x plus 4y equal to 8. Now, let me see the plotting of the second line. First point is 0 11 by 2. 11 by 2 means 5.5. So, 0 and 1 2 3 4 5.5. Next point is 3 minus 2. So, 3 on x axis 1 to 3 and minus 2 on y axis on the negative side. So, this is the point 3 minus 2. So, I took this point and I took this point and we joined them, and we got the equation of the line 5x plus 2y equal to 11. Now, let us shade the regions got by these inequalities. I put the test point 0 in the first inequality. In place of x and y, I put 0. So, I got 0 greater than or equal to 8, which is a true statement. This means that the shading of the first line 3x plus 4y equal to 8y, 0 equal to 8 is a false statement, and hence its shading will be away from 0. Similarly, the shading of both the lines will be away from 0. So, we are getting both the statements to be false. That means both the lines will be shaded away from 0. So, I can see this will be shaded away from 0, this will be shaded away from 0. But there is a third constraint also, and that is the natural constraint. That means whatever will be the shaded region that will lie in the first quadrant. We have to take only that part of the shaded region that lies in the first quadrant. So, as I see the graph, although both the lines will give me this whole region starting from this, but out of all this I will take only this portion which lies in the first quadrant. Let me show it by a purple line. So now you can see that this region which is lying in the first quadrant, this is the unbounded feasible region. Now I have to check the corner points of this region. You can see one corner point is 0, 11 by 2 A, and the other corner point B is 2, 1 by 2, and then we have this corner point. You can see, let us call it C, and we shall be finding its coordinates, and then only these three coordinates we will have. So you can see C is the point where this line 3x plus 4y equal to 8 intersects with x axis. So this line will intersect x axis when y will be 0. So you can see that this line is this is the point of intersection of this line 3x plus 4y equal to 8 and x axis. So this line will intersect with x axis at the point where y is equal to 0. So in this equation, if I put y 0, I will get x to be 8 by 3. That means coordinates of the point C will be 8 by 3 comma 0. So we have three corner points. One is A 0, 11 by 2, other is B 2, 1 by 2, and third is C 8 by 3 comma 0. So let us find the value of objective function at these three corner points. So Z is 60x plus 80y, A, B, C corner points. So we find the values of Z 1 by 1 at A. That means in the expression of Z, I will put x to be 0, y to be 11 by 2. So 60 into 0 plus 80 into 11 by 2, that gives me 0 plus 40 into 11, which is 440. Then I find the value of Z at B. That means in the expression 60x plus 80y, I will put x to be 2 and I will put y to be 1 by 2. That gives me 120 plus 40, that is 160. And then I find the value of Z at C. That means in 60x plus 80y, I will put x to be 8 by 3 and y to be 0. That gives also the value 160 to me. So out of the three values of Z that I am getting, 440, 160, both the points B and C are giving me the value 160. The minimum is 160. Now you know from the previous question that whenever you get an unbounded feasible region, in that case your question is not over here. You have to form a new inequality. So what is that new inequality and how to plot it? Now to form that new inequality, we write this expression of objective function, and in case of minimization we put a less than sign, in case of maximization we put a greater than sign. Now when we are minimizing, we shall be taking the minimum of these three values, and when we will be maximizing, we shall be taking maximum of these three values. Right now in this particular question, since we are minimizing, so we shall be taking the minimum value, which is 160, and we shall write it here. So we simplify this and divide the whole equation by 20. So we get 3x plus 4y and less than 8. So this new inequality is 3x plus 4y is less than 8. But did you notice that this is same as the constraint 3x plus 4y greater than or equal to 8? But the difference is that when we shall plot this now, previously when I plotted this, I made a proper line, not the dotted line. Proper line I made in the graph sheet, but when I will plot this, I cannot make a proper line. I mean I have to make a dotted line. So how I have to plot this is, plotting of the line will be same. So that means the new inequality will be got by plotting the same line 3x plus 4y equal to 8. So this is the line. So I can make a dotted line over it. You can get to know that what about we are talking. We are talking about this new inequality. Now since the new inequality is giving us the region 3x plus 4y less than 8. So if I want to know on which side should I shade it, I put the point, test point 0 comma 0 in this inequality. So I got 0 plus 0 less than 8, 0 less than 8 is a true statement. That means if this is the line and this is 0 comma 0, I should plot this towards 0. So its shading will be towards 0. So now you can see that this will be shaded in this direction. You can see this yellow color, I am using different colors so that you can differentiate between the two shaded regions. For now, this is the previously shaded region which you can see in purple and violet, and this is the new shaded region that you can see with the yellow color. Now when you get the unbounded region, what you have to check? You have to check that the previously got feasible region should not have any point in common with the newly got region. And we can see there is no point in common because this region, yellow shaded region, it is not containing any point lying on the line 3x plus 4y equal to 8 because its inequality was strict. 3x plus 4y less than 8. This was a strict inequality, and hence this inequality, this region shown by this inequality does not contain any point on this. So this point 2 comma 1 by 2 is lying in above region but not in the region got below. That means we have checked that this inequality has no point in common with our shaded region. So we can say since the region formed by inequality 3x plus 4y less than 8 has no point in common with previously obtained feasible region, hence the minimum value of z is whatever was the minimum value obtained by substituting the corner points A, B, C in Z. Whenever we have no point in common of the new region with the previously obtained region, then whichever is the minimum value or maximum value here is the minimum value, it remains the minimum or maximum value of the objective function. Otherwise, if they have some point in common, then we say that this particular linear programming problem has no solution. But here, since Z is giving you the minimum value 160 at the point B also, and it is giving you the minimum value 160 at the point C also, and hence the minimum value of the objective function Z is 160, and this minimum value lies on both the points, point B as well as on point C. So what does it mean? It means that you can see this line segment B and C. All the points lying on this line segment, that means all the set of values of x and y that lies on this line segment BC, they are the solution of this linear programming problem. It means that on BC you will have infinitely many points, every point will have some coordinate. So its value, coordinate means it will have some value of x and some value of y. So you can mix the food P and food Q in that quantity, whichever pair of xy you can get on line segment BC. Are you getting my point? All the coordinates on BC will give you the minimum cost of the food mixture. So we have solved this linear programming problem and the minimum cost of the food. So you can write that minimum cost of the mixture is going to be rupees 160, and you can take quantity of food P and food Q is represented by coordinates of all points lying on line segment BC in graph. With this, I end this lecture here, and Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe this channel. Thank you.